and say, this is what we need. Now, the day you can have that, you will have a Make in India which is not dependent on Americans or the West or the Chinese or the Russians.
But that is some decades away.
Why is it decades away? Why is it decades away?
Pratyush, do we have the kind of capacity, or that capacity building is required, and is Boeing willing to make that kind of investment in defense technology or defense sector?
Well, listen, I think we have been very forward-leading in building capacity. We've been training the frontline factory workers for the aerospace manufacturing for a long time. We have invested hundreds of millions in building the capability in terms of process, training, systems, quality assurance with our Indian suppliers such as Tata's. The reason we can produce that floor beam in Nagpur is because we invested in that. And going forward, we're making a huge investment in skill development on frontline factory workers. Now, going back to a little bit on the previous point, it's really the co-dependence for mutual benefit is the essence. If Indian suppliers and manufacturing get embedded into global supply chain for American products, you will mitigate the risk that you have in the past. We have to build the capabilities to that level. So for the long term, the quality and production from Indian industry is so good that the world can't live without it.
Is that happening on ground today, or capacity building is required for that, and how long, in your opinion, would that take?
It's a process, it's a journey. As you know, the private entrepreneurial sector is relatively new for defense manufacturing in India. As they pick up steam, over time it will get there. It will happen. It's a very complex system. So you have to start from component level, from subsystems level, to sub-assemblies, to finally systems. So you have to go up that food chain. It'll take time, but there's no reason that we can't get there in a reasonable time frame.
Is that happening? As far as the BrahMos is concerned, it's a very smooth operation. But apart from BrahMos, any other example that we can talk about, code development where our processes are as smooth as other countries?
Should I?
Please.
Actually, I would like to, after all, again I come back to the BrahMos. When the time came that we can export the missiles, and both the governments said, fine, you can export the missiles and go to the BrahMos. Will that day come when somebody approaches US and they say, okay, go to a company, Boeing India Limited, located in Hyderabad or Bangalore, and they say, okay, you place order on them, we'll share the profit. Would it happen?
That question is to you, Pratyush. Will it happen?
No, I'm not complete. Now, the second thing is coming to the high technology. The high technology investment in the country. Investment not only in the form of production, but in the form of design, development, training of the engineers in the country. That has to happen. That's the key thing. That's really Make in India. Make in India is not setting up the production line with lathe, milling, and sophisticated machines to only do the screw driving or manufacturing. That is not. It's basically, the knowledge has to be made in India. That is the key.
I agree with that. It's a complete ecosystem. You gotta have the right skill sets in the engineering base. You gotta have the frontline factory workers. You gotta have your suppliers, your sub-suppliers. The entire system has to work for it to be global quality and be competitive. If we just pick and choose bits and pieces, we'll be struggling for a very long time.
Okay. There are questions we'll take from the audience, and I see several hands going up already. Janlata Hasnain, the first question to you, sir.
Thank you, Gaurav. My name is Janlata Hasnain. My question is to the whole panel. It's wonderful seeing this kind of articulate young people involved in defense manufacturing and things like that today. But my question to you is specifically, how do you view the bureaucracy? You see, ultimately when you have to deal with the Ministry of Defense Production, or you got to deal with the acquisition people, you have to deal with professionals. Now, do you think there's a strong case in India for actually creating a professional defense bureaucracy? People who have got a hands-on experience on the ground, who are there, who have been on the ground, been on in the field areas, and come back and are now in as a part of a bureaucracy. It is almost akin to something like the Railway Ministry, perhaps. So this is something which is missing in India. Do you think there's a strong case for this?
Can I?
Please.
Actually, when it comes to bureaucracy, I want to assure you that we have one of the finest bureaucracy in the country who can see through what is good, what is bad, and what is ugly. When the proposal for BrahMos came, the bureaucracy could see that yes, there is going to be knowledge gain in the country, and I want to assure you that the BrahMos got all the supports from the Ministry of Defense, they got support from political system, they got support from Ministry of External Affairs, and today, after this all happened in 1998. And today we are reaping the harvest of that. So the bureaucracy is very good. You see, it's very easy to abuse bureaucracy. The good thing is, sir, the bureaucracy is capable enough to see through the paper. What is coming, what is not coming. The moment they say knowledge is not coming, they say no.
Why is this bureaucracy, or where is the hurdle? And I want Rahul Chaudhary to shed some light on that. Why is this bureaucracy then unable to give the army a 155mm howitzer that it requires from 1987? You've seen it perform in Kargil, and we still don't have a gun.
Look, the problem is, if you look at the finer drafting of all the policies which come out of Department of Defense Production, there is something called Defense Production Policy. It's a 2-page document. If you read through it, I will find not a single comma or full stop to be changed there. But when it comes down for the implementation, you have a system which has an inherent conflict of interest sitting inside the entire system. Now, if I was in their shoes sitting there, that conflict of interest will make me also act in that particular manner. So it is not, if you want to achieve a goal of substantive self-reliance, you need to first, it is not about getting one technology from other guy, or it is a process. Please understand that my co-panelists have time and time again said process. Another point which my co-panelist said, BrahMos was started in 1998 and we are now reaping the benefit. It is an industry which takes 6 to 7 years for the fruits to come. It's a slow...